Greetings, grasshoppers. Welcome to the Bot Signal. My name is RJ Redden, and if you don't know me, entrepreneurs hire me to skyrocket their marketing message because most feel like they're shouting into a black hole. They can't get any traction online to save their lives, or they're just a carbon copy of everybody else. So I create epic engagement experiences that get people to click that button, connect with you, and convert like crazy. Bottom line, I'm on a mission to get 1 million people to join my engagement marketing revolution. Today, we're going to start with you. And I've got a special guest today. Everybody, listen, I met this man a couple of weeks ago over, LinkedIn. We connected on LinkedIn, and then we had a little Zoom meeting. And I just knew that I needed to bring him on and get some of his wisdom for you guys today because he's amazing. His name is Joe Sweeney, and he is a coach extraordinaire. Please welcome Joe, everybody. Hey, how are you today, Joe?
Hey, I'm fabulous. Got a busy day today, and every day that's busy, it's a great day for me. So yeah, I'm happy to be on. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so tell us, give us a little background on yourself, Joe. Where are you at in the world? What have you done? Those type of things.
Okay. I've always been. I live in Lincoln, Nebraska, and been living here for a while. Was involved in corporate America for a while, and then eventually worked myself into a full-time coaching position as a home-based business coach. And the reason that I believe that I'm qualified to be a home-based business coach is because I've had a lot of experience in that area. And there are a lot of people out there that, especially in this day and age with the pandemic, people being laid off, jobs being eliminated, that type of stuff, are looking for a side hustle or a side gig. And so I just felt it necessary, since that I had so much experience in the home-based business world in terms of direct sales and network marketing, that I know what works and what doesn't work. And as a result of that, I felt like, that industry really needs to be explained, and people to have people look before they leap and to truly evaluate an opportunity. So I figured that my coaching niche will allow people to make informed, wonderful decisions about, a company that they join, so that they can know that they throw their time, energy, and money into, that there's going to be a reasonable return. There's a lot of companies out there, they don't have the 12 factors that have been developed, then that probably is not probably a good opportunity for them to join. So with my 30 years experience in that industry, I feel like I'm qualified to be able to talk on, what works and what doesn't work out there in the real world.
Yeah, and that's, you talk about stuff, what's going on in the world right now. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people lost their jobs right
Yeah.
when this pandemic started
Mm-hmm.
and picked up side gigs.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people personally, and
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with a lot of them that have direct sales gigs going on.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, I know that when people are first doing direct sales, they make emotion-based decisions.
Boy, isn't
Have
that
you run
true?
into this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody calls them, is all excited, and they get really emotional, get them all hyped up, and they put them online with somebody, that shows them a big check and tells them that they can do this too. And yeah, it's an emotional decision to begin with. But I want people to step back a little bit and say, okay, let's take the emotion out of it. I can, and then let's actually, vet this company, knowing that if I put my time and effort into it, then I'm going to get some type of reasonable return. 80% of the people that ever get involved in a network marketing or direct sales company will never make any money. And a lot of times, and so usually usually at the time that they get into those things, they get front loaded with a lot of product. They pay a membership fee to get in. And then they have a 30-day money back guarantee, but then 30 to 60 to 90 days down the road, when they figure out that they're not going to make any money, and they wouldn't be buying that product if they weren't part of that company anyway, it's too late for them to get their money back. And so I try to have people make a reasonable decision. Would you buy that product from that company if you were not making any money? And a lot of times people will answer no. because a lot of times they have to add $150 to $200 to $300 a month to their budget in order to afford those products. And if they're not making any money, then that's what's the first thing that goes. Boom, they go and they get off of auto ship. They quit the company, and it's too late to return the product. They've got this big credit card bill that they're sitting on, at 21 or 22 or 25% interest that they're having to pay off, which gives them a bad experience and bad feeling about the whole industry. That's why there's a lot of people, when you mention direct sales or network marketing, I mean, it's like, put up the defenses. Oh, no, thank you. I've heard about those things, so, and I'm trying, and there are companies out there that are doing it right and doing things that give the average individual a reasonable chance of success of making the type of money that they want to make in that industry.
Yeah, well, because a lot of those folks then, they take the product that they're overloaded with and they go sell it on, they put up some Google ads and they eBay it and they,
or Facebook. Yeah.
They get the heck rid of it.
I've seen that over and over again, where somebody's that gets into a company that front loads you with a lot of product, and I say, well, no thanks. Why should I buy it from you when I can get it for half price off of eBay or Google Ads or Facebook? Because they're trying to get some type of money back off that product that they just got front loaded with. I mean, it amazes me that people will buy, $1,500 to $2,000 to $3,000 worth of product because they buy themselves into a manager position or some other type of a position, and and then to me that does that person a real injustice, by especially if it's an 80%er. When I continue, it's probably higher than that. That gets into that, and they get all excited. They make it a decision based upon emotion. And then all of a sudden reality sits in. I've got this credit card bill coming in 30 days. I need to start, getting rid of this. So they're hitting up their friends and their family and everybody to please buy a tube of this or a bar of this or these supplements or whatever in order to help me. And it's not because they really want to help their friends, because they want to get their money back.
Yeah. They do. And, what I've personally seen a lot of times is not necessarily the front loading of product, which happens quite a bit, but also they don't give their folks a lot of information to go on. It's either not a lot or way too much that you need to integrate in the next 3 days. There doesn't seem to be a proper middle. What do what are some of the things that you look for when you're helping people decide? What are some of those factors that you were talking about earlier?
I'm going to go over a few of them. One is, company track record. Most companies in the direct sales network marketing industry fail within the first 5 years. You're going to get 9 out of every 10 of companies that get started, they're going to fail in the first 5 years. And then out of that, 4 out of 5 or 9 out of 10 of those people or companies are going to fail within the next 5 years, within 10 years. So a company must, be in business a minimum of 5 years or 10 years, preferably. Also, it's got to be a financially sound company. There are a lot of companies out there that aren't financially sound, that they get started with, basically it's distributors that are funding the company. So look before you leave, will it last? So the company needs to be financially healthy, and it has to be like a debt-free company. And so that's one of the first questions that I would ask. The company that I'm joining, is it a debt-free company? If the answer is no, then that means that they're either funding it through debt or they're funding it through distributors. So they need you to buy a $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 package that they can pay their distributors out of and pay for their product from, so that it's you that's funding the company. Strong management. A lot of companies out there are started by MLM guys. There's a lot of MLM guys out there that have made really, really good money being part of an MLM, but they can even make bigger money starting a company. So what they do is they develop a compensation plan, and then they go out and try to find a product to insert into that plan. And a lot of times when those companies go out of business, what happens is the people that started the company end up walking away with millions of dollars, and they leave the distributors holding the bag. And then it's got to be a unique consumable product. Product must be highly consumable by all. Is it a product that you would buy anyway, even if you weren't part of that company? I mean, is it something that you're going to continue using? So products must be products that are already buying. People's budgets can't be changed by it. So if I have to add $200 to $300 to $400 a month to my budget in order to buy your product, and I'm an 80%er or somebody that maybe is just dabbling with it, I'm not going to stay on board buying for the long term.
No.
And then the products must be competitively priced. What I mean by that is that they can't be, you can't be a product where a person could go out into the marketplace and buy it for about half to a third what you're charging them for. And a lot of compensation plans in most multi-level marketing companies or direct sales companies are structured so that they have to get 300 to 400 to 500% more for that product in order to make the compensation plan work. So that's why a lot of times you'll have people out there that'll be on $150 to $200 a month auto ship because that they have to have that in order to make that compensation plan work. High monthly reorder rate. It's been my experience that in most companies out there, if they have a 15 to 20% reorder rate, you're not going to build long-term residual income off of something like that. Because if people aren't staying customers, if they aren't staying buying, regardless of whether they're making money or not, then, if you got into it for the fact that you wanted to get beach money, so to speak, do the work once and then go sit on the beach, I'm telling you, that doesn't exist in that industry because of the low monthly reorder rate. So you want a really high reorder rate month after month, and that's people buying products that they're going to buy anyway, products that they're going to consume, and products that they're not having to add to their budgets in order to do. So if a company has about a 95% or higher reorder rate, that's a really great company for you to join. So
yeah,
if people aren't ordering, they quit. So there needs to be an overwhelming value for the customers to stay ordering, whether or not they're making money. And then low personal production requirements is another one. A lot of companies out there, if you've got to do 2,500 or you've got to do 150 to 300 or whatever per month, or have a bunch of customers doing that amount per month in order to do that. But if you've got people that are only buying what they need when they need, and it's low monthly rate, and it's money that they're not out of your budget, you have a better chance of having those people stay.
Yeah.
So low entry fee, low attrition. If people are quitting, they're not ordering. I've covered that. Timing. No ground floor deals. I've had a lot of people get all hyped up and call me and say, hey, this company's just getting started. You get a chance to be at the very top of this deal, and it's ground floor. And I tell people, if you're looking for a ground floor deal, you better like dirt, because it's so true.
Oh man, yeah, that is true.
I get, you be at the very top, be at the beginning of this thing. Then this thing is going to explode. But the reality is, 9 out of 10 of those companies don't explode, and they never get any traction, and they never go. So being at the top of a deal where nobody's buying any product, or people are falling out as fast as you can put them in, is not a good deal. An example: I was in a company at one time where I learned a very valuable lesson. I had over 4,000 people in my downline, and at one time. And when I left that company, I had exactly 12 people ordering. And at one time it was great, but with 12 people ordering, the residual income just simply wasn't there.
Yeah.
The compensation plan's another thing I look at. I take a look and evaluate compensation plans. Can't be any breakaways. You should not be penalized for enrolling people that are better than you. And so with breakaways and with binary compensation programs, they don't reward the people that the people that are leaders in that company. You don't want somebody to succeed more than you in that program, because if they do, you don't get paid on those people. So it's a compensation plan that rewards you basically or doesn't reward you, that penalizes you for having to work with people that that you're constantly having to light a fire under, try to get them going so that you can get yourself promoted, so that you can catch up to to the other people. So you're not rewarded for. There's no mentoring going on in those types of programs. Many companies use binary plans. They're kind of the breakaway plans, and binary, which is two legs, and you have to balance them on both sides. A lot of times people can't balance both legs, so the company ends up not paying commissions on a lot of that volume because you can't balance the legs. And if you've got a leader on one side that is basically really taking off and putting a lot of volume in, then you're over on the other side trying to work with people to get them going so that you can keep the legs balanced so that you get paid on those. So, and then the last one is no risk. There needs to be 100% money back guaranteed with no questions asked. A lot of companies, have a 30-day money back guarantee. Some of them don't, but in 30 days, if you and I contend it takes some people at least 60 days to figure out they aren't going to make any money. They can't get all their friends to buy the product, and so they're basically stuck with that inventory. And it needs to be safe for everyone, customers and business builders, and 80%ers can do no risk deals. They really can. I've got, in my organization, I got a lot of people that just have a few customers, friends and family that they love, that love the products, and they're basically just getting their products paid for every single month. And there are a lot of companies out there where people don't ever earn a check ever, but they stay buying year after year after year after year, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 20 years down the road. I've seen that happen, and those are no risk deals. And if people would only realize if they put those 12 factors into any type of company, or ask those any kind of type of company that they're planning on joining, and then ask that question, which one of the 12 points would you be willing to take off this page and still throw your time, energy, and reputation into? So I like to ask people, are you looking for the next one, or are you looking for the last one? And people join a company think it's going to be their last one. And I can tell you from my experience, several companies later, I finally found, my last one. But it took a lot of trying to find out the secret of this industry, talking to the leaders and finding out, and the secret is there really is no secret. And there are a lot of people out there that make a living from jumping to company to company to company to company to company, and they bring, for a while they can bring a lot of their leaders and their downline with them and start off and really kill a new deal, but they're the only one that's doing that. So I contend that the direct sales network marketing industry is the last bastion of the free enterprise system, where the average individual can make an above average income if it's done right. So I did a lot of talking there, didn't I?
You did. No, but it was great. I mean, it was. I mean, I find it interesting because I've worked with quite a few direct sales people doing their training and stuff.
Yeah.
And that, I can see where it's so easy. It's so easy for people to go wrong and to be led into a tough direction, because it just seems like every direct marketing person that I've ever known believes in their company, believes in that company story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How valuable is that? I mean, because if you get caught up in emotions, you might make some decisions that end up really hurting you down the road. But you've got to also, for me at least, just for me, and I don't do direct sales, but I do sales for my own company.
Yeah.
If I don't believe in what I'm selling, I ain't selling it.
Yep. And that's another thing that you have to kind of examine your conscience. It's easy to get caught up into the smoke and the mirrors and the hype and the BS, of a company, and start drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak. But that's one thing I ask. That's one thing I ask a lot of people. Do you believe in your product so much that if you were making $0 with it, no money whatsoever, would you still be ordering it? would you still add $150 to $300 a month to your budget, out of your family's budget, and still take the product and be part of the company if you were making no money? And the answer I get a lot of times is no, I wouldn't. So if you're not believing in that, why should I believe you when you say, hey, there's a great opportunity here, it's a great product, and you should come join our company. I've seen people, like I said, drink the Kool-Aid to the point to where they almost get out of touch with reality when it comes to a lot of these companies. And they truly sit down and examine their company, their product, why they're in it, whether they have a belief in that product or not. And there are some people that are in companies where they've got life-changing results that are real to them. Those people will stay on board, but the majority of people don't. A lot of people get to the point where they're just taking the products because their upline told them they should, or they get loaded with a bunch of product. I've seen this happen too, where I've had people come to me, when other companies that I've been in said, hey, I'm trying to get promoted this month. Could you buy an extra $500 to $1,000 worth of products so that I can get promoted this month? And I'll help you sell it. So when I'm sitting there with $1,000 on my credit card and all this other product sitting in on my doorstep, and say, okay, you got promoted this month, you got a big bonus, now come help me sell it. All of a sudden, they're not returning my phone calls.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen. So you've got to be part of a company where you're not going to have that type of stuff happen, where people are going to be calling you and saying, help me buy an extra order, or buy an extra $500 or $1,000 in order to get promoted. They're going to get promoted, upon they're actually doing real business with real people and real customers. The one thing I will say is the FTC has also jumped on board and is starting to clean up this industry big time too. We've seen some really large companies out there that if, one company I know of, just got done paying a $250 million fine because they weren't selling real product to real people, to real customers. We had another major company which actually got rid of all its distributors due to an FTC order. FTC basically said, hey, if you get rid of all your distributors and just go direct to the customer, then you don't have to pay the fine. So they chose to shut the company down and go direct. And another company that I know of where they weren't selling real products, real people, front loading deal, been around for a long time, completely, totally out of business. So they just basically shut the whole company down rather than pay for it. So if your company is not retailing product to real customers at reasonable prices, eventually the FTC is going to come and take a look at you, and you don't want to be part of that when the FTC starts getting involved in your company, because I've seen that happen too.
Anybody that comes and looks at you and their companies, the organization starts with an F. Yeah. That's Federal Trade Commission there. That's some serious business. I am glad that they're looking into that, because I've seen people been taken advantage of time and time again. And that's what most people are sitting back and looking at is, you're approaching me with this deal or whatever. Yeah. I've seen this happen before. So
Go ahead. Well, one last thing I was going to say is that, I've had a lot of people say I'm just really no good at that industry. I tried it. It's not working. It's not worked for me. And I say it's not you that was no good. It was the business model. It was the system. It was the company that you chose that never gave you even a chance of succeeding in that particular company. And so a lot of people blame themselves. Oh, I tried that deal. It's not for me because I just didn't, get any traction. But it's not because you didn't get any traction because of you. It's because of the system, the products, the hype, the BS, and maybe the company, eventually just ended up going out of business. I've had companies go, that I thought was going to be around forever and ever, and all of a sudden, boom, they're gone. They're out of business. owner runs off with millions and millions and millions and living the lavish lifestyle, while the rest of us are like, what happened?
Yeah.
And there was a one point at one time that I've been in so many companies and tried so hard with this industry. I just thought, I'm really no good at this, and it's not an industry for me. And it wasn't until I discovered the 12 factors, found a company that that met all 12, that all of a sudden I think, wow, I really can do this. I really can succeed at this. I really can create true residual income to last a lifetime instead of a lunchtime. And all these other companies, you end up building a check. But if you ever stop working it, a lot of those other companies don't have these 12 success factors. Your check is going to go away probably in a matter of months. And I've seen that happen over where people stop working and then all of a sudden they fall back to zero because people fall out. The people are falling out as fast as they could put them in. They stop putting people in. Next thing you know, their check, for me, 4,144 people ordering at one time, 12 when I left the company.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not necessarily, if you're sitting back and going, gosh, I can't make this work.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it work, but a lot of the game seems to be rigged, and you've got to really vetting your company. Is not just about, okay, I want a company that just didn't do what my last company did. There are actually some other factors that you can look at that can show you, what to be involved in and what not to be involved in.
There are, can anybody do it? Number one, a lot of times, the leaders can do it, but a lot of times the average Joe or the average individual that gets in, can't do it. And then also, what are the training systems? Are there training systems, that are set up with a company to where it's going to give me a reasonable chance of being able to go out there and market and market and build my business? If you're having to reinvent the wheel, or if you're having to come up with your own system, a lot of times most people won't do that. So is there a good system that you can plug into? A good way, we have a getting started package that we offer to people for free that shows them step by step, because success leaves clues. And so the leaders that have done this, have written down exactly what they did, how to get started. And if you follow that system, you have a reasonable chance of getting of having the success that you crave and want yourself. It all boils down to, it's called network marketing for a reason, not net wish marketing. And a lot of people get in, and if they're not making a $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 check within the first 3 months, it's like, this didn't work. Well, it's because they didn't work. And so that's what I contend. So it's not a get rich quick deal. And people are flashing big checks, in front of you and say they got those in a really short period of time. I say, not walk, run in the opposite direction as fast as you possibly can. A lot of those checks of those other companies are propped up. They're manufactured. They're a friend of the owner, and they're put at the top of the compensation plan so that everybody else is putting underneath them, because a lot of these companies know that they need to show big checks in order to attract the leadership into the company. But the average individual,
you are sometimes unknowingly looking at a staged presentation. So yeah, that is some great stuff, Joe. Gosh, anybody out there, if you are in a direct sales situation, if you are thinking about a direct sales situation, please contact my friend Joe. Joe, how do people contact you? How would people be able to hit you up for some coaching?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn under Joe Sweeney, and then they can also email me at NOAV as in Victor Joe at AOL.com, and that's for No Average Joe, because I'm not your average Joe. But I would be glad to talk to people that are thinking about getting involved in this industry and taking them through, a reasonable vetting of the company. And if they hit these 12 factors, and and they're excited about the opportunity, I say go for it. But look before you leap. I've seen so many people where their girlfriend calls them up and they're all excited about this new company and please come join me and we're going to have so much fun in this thing. And they're thinking about the fun and joining the girlfriend and working together with somebody, and without even a second thought about the products or the compensation plan or the leadership or those types of things. So, I mean, like right now, the party plan business, I've seen it suffer so greatly because if people aren't giving parties, they aren't making money.
Yeah.
And and with the pandemic, nobody's meeting, nobody's having home parties right now. But and then after a while, you go through all your friends and family and that type of stuff. And if you stop having parties, then the income stops. And I contend that that's not the reason that a lot of people got into those industries to begin with, or into those plans to begin with. They got in because they wanted to make a difference as far as their family's concerned. They want to make a difference. People, they want to contribute to their household. Maybe an extra $300 to $500 a month. Susie can now get those dance lessons. I can put my kid in the Little League baseball. I can, maybe I can make my car payment, extra car payment, whatever. If you're getting into it to make the 30, 40, 50, $200,000 a month checks, that's less than 1% of the people that get involved. I like working with people that that want to make $300 to $500 to $1,000 to $2,000 a month. That life-changing money for a lot of those people. Yeah. And then people can also call me. They can also call or text me on 402-430-8548, and I'll be glad to talk to people about that too.
All right. I threw that number in the comments as well.
Great.
So Joe, I want to thank you for coming on and just shedding a little light on an industry that sometimes can be a little scary. Yeah. Thanks for the love, Joe. Thanks for the 12 factors.
Yeah.
And if you need everybody out there, if you need someone to help you separate the emotions from the actions that you're about to take and truly vet a company that you are going to blood, sweat, and tear for, then give Joe a call, give him a text. And yeah, that's what I have today. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, separate fact from fiction, because there's a difference between what's real and what's not real, as we're finding, especially during this 2020 year. So, anyway.
Yeah, baby.
I appreciate you so much, and thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, because I really need to I'm really looking for avenues to get the word out there, so that more people have a reasonable chance of success if they choose this industry. And really want to make a difference for themselves versus working for somebody else. So there you go.
Beautiful. All right, my friend. I'm going to put you down in the little bar again and sign out. That has been my friend Joe Sweeney with the 12 factors of being able to evaluate a direct sales or a network marketing opportunity. Gosh, I hope you guys got something out of that, because I know that a lot of people are considering or have considered or have been involved in the past. And there truly is a way to vet those things without getting yourself in over your head. And that's it for me today. Going to sign off. Tomorrow, we have got the show, of course, at 10 o'clock a.m. Central. And we're going to go over Friday wins, all of the wins that you've had this week. I don't care if it's personal, business, big, small, whatever it is, bring it to the show. We will celebrate all of it, because entrepreneurs are worth celebrating, and we're going to have a good time. So please do join us. And that's it for me today, my friends. I will see you in a bot.